Hello, and welcome back to the Woodland Viper Airsoft channel. In today's video I have a really cool surprise I'm super stoked to show you all. I just want to give a little bit of a backstory on this because it's kind of crazy. So, recently I was watching a YouTuber called, I think it's Neola Airsoft or something like that. I'll throw his channel up right there real quick for a minute. Please subscribe to him, he's a super cool guy, always gets back to my comments. And he was like talking and he's like, oh, you joined me today to use my ViperTech GBBBR or whatever. I was like, huh? I was like, ViperTech? Like, I never heard of this brand. Never heard of it. I was like, oh, maybe it's like a European brand or something, like it's not really in the US. But he's a US channel. So I got into digging and I found like a lot of information on, you know, this brand and these types of GBBRs. But it's still pretty limited. Like, there's like Explosive Enterprises is like one of the very few YouTube channels that I saw that really did deep dive into like the teching and the details of the rifle. So I messaged ViperTech through email, and it took weeks and weeks and weeks to get a reply. And I was like, hey, I really like your product. I'd like to, you know, make it a little bit well known in the US, do a review maybe, and talk about it. And maybe do some gameplay. Ideally I was gonna use this for the last video I just released actually yesterday at time of recording, Operation Hidden Ward by Lion Claws. This is the rifle I wanted to use at it to like kind of promote it and get some awesome gameplay with it. But it didn't line up with some of the customs and imports and export fees and such. But all of a sudden yesterday I get an email from ViperTech and they're like, hey, we're sending you the gun. And I was like, why? Like, this is crazy. Like, my channel has like roughly 1,500 subscribers and the gun itself is worth $1,500. So it was a pretty wild moment. But I don't want to keep yapping. I just really want to, you know, say thank you to ViperTech for taking a chance on my channel. Being Woodland Viper, I had to reach out to them, and I knew it was a long shot. But I sent a really long email describing what I do as a channel, my Airsoft Field, Azure and Airsoft Field, what I do as a non-profit org, and I talked to them about, you know, other sponsors I've worked with over the years for my Airsoft Field. And they were like, yeah, sure, we'll send you a gun. Just send us your name, address, yada yada yada. And can you just cover shipping? I think the shipping was like $90, so it wasn't even that bad considering the gun was free. And I get a notification, like I said yesterday, that the package had shipped. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll probably be waiting for a little bit. No, ViperTech went above and beyond and did next day shipping. Literally, I get a message like a few hours later, it's like, package is past customs. And then today, like super early in the morning in West Virginia, Fort Ashby, West Virginia, this is sitting on the doorstep. So let's get into it. Huge thanks to ViperTech for, you know, being so speedy. But let's see what we've got here. The mag here, which they have a nice little stamp probably for shipping that it's no CO2 because the mags that they run are green gas. So really cool mags. I've done a little, like I said, I've been doing some research in preparation of this arriving and such. One of the cool things about the actual ViperTech mags, besides the price point, which is horrendous, it's like 100 to 120 and they're super hard apparently to find and get a hold of. I didn't even bother looking for them because I knew I was gonna go a different route with mags because these are a little bit insane price wise. Like, you're looking at, typically I run 6 mags, so with this one I have to buy 5 more. That'd be like $500 alone, not even counting shipping or anything like that for mags. But I will say the build quality of this mag is phenomenal. You've got your gas port kind of lower, which is interesting. The VFC mags I've had have either had it at the bottom here or they've had it at the top here. So this is kind of weird being right in the middle, but unique. So let's set that to the side. But got some bubble wrap over the gun itself. And here we are. This is one of the models they have. I don't know the exact model this is. I think it's based off like the Mark 18 model. But this is the ViperTech. They've got nice sticker here. It says this is the VR16 caliber 0.6mm BBs. We've got a nice sticker with their logo on it. They have a warning sticker up at the top there. On this side we have another warning sticker here, but wow. I mean, just the feel of this thing is great. It's got huge weight to it. Like, it feels real. Like, everything on here is metal. You can kind of hear there. So super nice. It's got great weight to it. Yeah. This is just going to be the first, like, just out of the box review, so it's going to be pretty basic. We'll do like a little, oh wow. I mean, these definitely no wobble, no wiggle, super nice feel. We'll do the bolt pullback. There's your bolt setup in there. It's freaking beautiful. Yeah. So with this being a gas blowback, you know, this is going to open up more. It's never going to stay shut like it would with an AEG or something. Stock feels nice. Like, I will say the stock kind of feels like just like an everyday, cheaper, just plastic stock. Like, there's no complaints one way or the other. It's just a simple stock. The grip, I kind of like it. Like, it has a really aggressive, a lot of the grips I've used with pretty much everything I think I own are like a standard, just kind of flat pistol grip style. This has a really large protruding nudge here, but it rests really nice between your middle finger and right there. So it actually feels really nice just to kind of lock in. Nice cheek weld, plenty of rail space on the top, and then, you know, you can add stuff here on the sides. You have tons of space to make it your own, and it's really cool. It didn't come with an orange tip on it, which is unique. Surprised they got through customs like that, because when I ordered my SSR 63A3 from Scotland, because I had to get it through indirectly through Knobridge, they like had to tape it orange. They put orange all over it, but I mean, this looks just real. It feels real. It's got some, like I said, some nice weight to it. But I'm debating if I'm gonna paint this one, because I'm sort of wondering if I'm gonna like keep this kind of a natural build and like keep it looking as real as possible, no paint or anything, or I'm probably gonna paint it. I just love painting stuff. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. I like that there's a big flat spot here where I can laser engrave something custom to make it my own. But yeah, I just want to say thank you again to ViperTech. Like, they really took a big chance on my channel. I think when I emailed them originally, they were like, yeah, nobody's ever really asked to be sponsored by us, or like been like, hey, can you send me a free gun? I want to do some videos. Like, I want to promote your product, which is exactly what I said. I messaged them and I was like, hey, I really like your product. I know there's a lot of complications I've heard with it. One of the biggest things I discovered early on when working with ViperTech is you need to get into their, they have like, not them directly, but there's a group of guys that have made a Discord. I will link that there or put something there to show it off. It's a must. There's so many guys in there that know their stuff. They know how to help you. There's guys that build specific parts and adaptions for the ViperTechs that are going to highly improve functionality, reliability, and keeping it a stable setup. I know there's like Guillotine Airsoft. I'll throw him up again. I've already ordered because I'm going the route I think. This is what I'm really debating with this video series here, what I want to do exactly. Because there's kind of two paths I hear, like with the group chats. You can either go the GHK mag route with the V3 mags, or you can do what Explosive Enterprise has said, which is like you do a little bit of filing on the inside of the mag well, and you can kind of adapt it to fit VFC mags. Well, I have 10 VFC mags already, so ideally I'd like it to be compatible with VFC mags. For some of the initial tests that I want to do, we're going to run it with the mag it came with, so ViperTech mag, and we're going to run it just as is, and we'll see what happens. I know there's other things like changing the spring to a lower power spring because it's kind of hard on the system internally. If you want the VFC mags, there's two paths you can go. With the mags themselves, you can either add like a 3D print mag extender for, wow, that was tight. Basically you can see this kind of protrudes. So you can add a cap on the VFC mags that basically makes it longer so that the knocker can hit that to release the gas. Like I said, Guillotine Airsoft makes a knocker, which I actually have sitting over there because before I got this, ViperTech took so long to respond. I found one of these on Hop Up, and I bought one, and it already had some modifications. I was like, okay, I want a ViperTech no matter what. So now I have two, but this one's cool because it's brand new. Like, I can, you know, kind of go through this process. I can do this review series, and I'm really excited to do that. But you can, like I said, you can install a knocker, which you no longer have to have the adjustment to the mag. So like if you had a VFC gas blowback rifle, you can just switch the mags back and forth between both setups, which is really cool. But in the current one, you know, with mine, I think the knocker is the route I'm going to go. But it's really complicated because you have to take apart like a whole bunch of the internals here, and it's just a lot. But yeah, I'm figuring it out. I want to keep this video kind of short. Like I said, I think I'm going to throw in a little bit of a test bit here. So let's put some gas in this. We're going to load it up with some BBs, and we will, you know, see how it fires. And yeah, we'll do like just a base test out of the box. Chrono with .36 BBs I think is the route I want to go. Just because that's what I like to use with a gun that has high performance, high accuracy. I think it's just the right amount of weight where it's not too heavy, where I feel like I'm losing a little bit of range, but not too light that it's losing the ability to keep a tight group. So let's take this outside and do some tests. And here we are. So we're outside, got a little bit of a range right here. Trying to capture maybe a little bit with the zoom camera, but let's first talk about loading. So with the AirTech UK, it's only compatible with the VFC mags, so it won't be super necessary right now, but like I said, I'm gonna throw it up somewhere so you can use it if you go the VFC mag route, but for now we'll just take it out, and I think we're gonna have to manually load this. So I am using these biodegradable high power Airsoft, so HPA BBs with the mag. So we're going to just take a second, load it up, and then we'll go from there. So, small update, because of the metal feeding lips, you can't feed from the top at all to put the BBs in. And I'm not entirely sure how to get it through just the front and feed each one consistently with any sort of speed loader I have. Looks like I'll be doing some more research on that and then updating. But for now, I just kind of used an Allen key to kind of hold down the BB and manually fill with 3.6 BB. So let's put some gas in. Okay, let's see what we get here. So let's see if we can just get it to cycle one shot here. So now that we've at least got one down, we're going to take the chronograph here, have it set to 0.36 gram BBs, and 339.5 at 1.93 joules, 328, 1.8 joules, 324.1, 1.76 joules. 323.4, 1.75 joules. 326, 1.78 joules. So it's shooting relatively consistent there after the first two shots. Little bit of a FPS test there just to see what we are right out of the box. But let's take it back inside and check it back out in there. And here we are, back inside. So, some stuff to talk about. Seemed like it was shooting pretty consistently, so that's fine, all that. I do want to do a little bit of some griping with this. To adjust hop up, one of the things that's like the most critical thing in Airsoft, you have to use this Allen key that they provided with the mag to take out this bolt in this bolt, and they'll just unscrew, and then they kind of like, they pop out like that. Then you need another Allen key, a really small one here, to do. They've put these grub screws on either side of your handguard, and then once you've done that, you can shimmy your handguard off. And now, right under here, this tiny little window they've provided, at the very bottom, there is a wheel that is very hard to get to. Like, you'll pretty much have to use an Allen key to kind of push that wheel one way or the other. So I imagine you're supposed to kind of decide your hop up, set up like this. I don't know why, especially when the gun is powered by green gas, which somewhat fluctuates a little bit off of temperature, why they've chosen this route. I do want to note that I've mentioned a few times in this video, Guillotine Airsoft is pre-ordering, I think it ends this month, I've already pre-ordered one, a new hop-up wheel that will be, you know, you can pull your bolt back and adjust it like basically like every AEG that exists in Airsoft, which is the smartest thing possible. I don't know why they did it like this. I'm sure there's some smart reason. I want to be entirely clear, I'm not like a super savvy Airsoft tech guy. If you want that type of stuff, like I said, check out the Discord that I put up previously, or, you know, watch videos from like Explosive Enterprises. This is just your everyday run-of-the-guy Airsoft guy who just likes to go play Airsoft and is a relatively good shot. So just kind of my take on it, and I'm really big about practicality. Like, things should function and be super easy to work with, especially with Airsoft. So, not a fan of this. Like I said, I had bought one previously. I actually, in my other one, I dremeled out a hole in the bottom here of that handguard so that I could access the hop-up wheel. I know that's horrible. I'm like butchering a handguard, but at the end of the day, I want practicality. I want to be able to adjust my hop-up if it's going a little high, or maybe I want it to just kind of swoop down a little bit more faster. I want to be able to access it, not by removing 4 hex key variant screws. So, not super thrilled about that. I will say ViperTech is extremely well known for their, you know, everything being super high quality, very little wiggle room, high tolerances, and so forth. And it definitely shows, but like I said, not a fan whenever there's certain parts I want to be able to easily access. And how the heck do you load one of these mags efficiently? Because I cannot figure it out. The only way to seemingly feed is through this front here, and because they're metal, there's no give, so you're not loading from the top like most mags. It's only from the front, but when that first BB goes in, it sits really high. It doesn't kind of get pushed down, so you need something that's going to kind of push down relatively far, because even when I was using an Allen key to manually push down the BB and then load another one, it had to be very far down, or that BB was not going in this mag. Yeah, so roast me, do whatever you want. Like I said, I'm going to this video as somebody who knows nothing about ViperTech, trying to give everyone a first-hand experience and journey, and kind of the tips and tricks on how to get it to be, you know, something that's usable and fun, because the platform is really, really cool, really high quality. I know I've read in the Discord a lot of people are like, they're just wall hangers. They're really expensive wall hangers for Airsoft, but I'm against that. We're going to use it. We're going to have fun with it. It's going to be a good rifle. Like I said, I'm really leaning towards the VFC conversion. So, you know, it looks like you'll have to do some sort of minor filing to get this to be wider, because the VFC mags, I guess, have a higher diameter. They're a little wider than the ViperTech mags, and then we'll move on from there. That's kind of it for now. Like I said, I just want this to be really an unboxing, first impressions, announcement of getting this, and saying thank you to ViperTech for even considering it. They were super forthcoming about it. They were right on top of everything. And yeah, I'm really grateful for this opportunity This is pretty huge for my channel being really, really small, and you know, I just thought it'd be cool because Woodland Viper Airsoft doing a review on ViperTech. So that's pretty much it for now. I'm torn on painting because I like painting all my stuff. So maybe by the next review it's going to be painted, who knows. But for now we're just going to leave it as is, and I'm debating if I want to kind of do the modifications like video, or I'm just going to kind of come back to the channel and be like, I did the modification, this is what I recommend, because there's already videos by Explosive Enterprise showing how to break down the modifications, showing how to go about that, and I think he does it better than I ever will be able to do it. So go check out his channel. I'll throw the specific videos up right there. Subscribe to him, like his content. I messaged him on Facebook and he was super helpful. He's the one that got me into that Discord. And yeah, so like I said, thinking I'm going to go that route because I have no idea what to do with this mag, like, efficiently. I don't know why they went with such a unique format for their mags. I think the metal feeding lips are cool, but again, metal is nice, but when you're dealing with plastic BBs, I just think there's a lot of chances to destroy them or shatter them, and realistically I want something that's going to feed every time and shoot every time. So we'll kind of do like a side-by-side comparison of this one and my other one once I get the knocker in. I have a heat gun arriving today actually that's going to help me get the one grub screw out that's buried down in the trigger system, and then I can put it back together and we'll kind of put it side by side and see if that fixes everything, because the big thing I'm reading is it's really just the mags. Like, the gun itself will perform phenomenally if it has mags that work. Other than that, that's it, guys. If you have questions, if you have something like suggestions or where you want me to go with this video, let me know down in the comments. I kind of want this to be like a journey for the YouTube channel, like not just for myself but for anyone that's interested or anyone that knows stuff, and just kind of be like a more relevant, up-to-date source of information, because a lot of the other videos I'm looking at, they're like 1, 2, 5 years old, 10 years old. Like, they're not 2025, 2020, it's almost 2026 at this point. I want this to be as up-to-date. What are we doing? What's the best route when you buy one to go, and kind of go from there. So I'm going to get this video up pretty soon. I know I've been kind of dumping videos this week, but I want to get it up so that comments can start rolling in, suggestions can start rolling in, and tell me what you all think I should go and do with it. Should we paint it? Should we leave it alone? What optics, what attachments should we run? What internals should we change? I know the hop-up and barrel system are pretty non-compatible with other things, which is fine. It seems to be phenomenal as is. But I think the main things to change are potentially the mag conversion. I know I've read something in one of the Discords about like a lighter spring to not put so much wear and tear on it. And I'm trying to think, the hop-up unit whenever it releases. But I believe Guillotine and Meech and all that said it won't be out until sometime in 2026, which is rapidly approaching, but it's going to be a while before we get that fixed. So I might be cutting another hole in a handguard, who knows, I don't know. I like access to my hop-up wheels. That's a big issue because I'm not, but yeah, you have to get all the way out here to even remotely have access to your hop-up wheel, which I'm trying to think where that's going to be. That's about, what, 1.5 inch. So even if I do another wheel cut, I'm probably cutting some sort of square in here so that I can get in. We'll see though. Maybe I won't do it. I'm even looking at potentially like a different rail system, doing like the Daniel Defense conversion kit. I know they have some where like the bottom just pops off and that way the top stays and you can have access. But again, a lot of screws, a lot of access. I want it to be easy. I could do it on the field. I'm not going to need tools and all that. So I want to quit yapping and making this a super long video when it doesn't need to be. It's just a first impressions, kind of give you an idea of what I'm thinking about with this system and where I want to go with it. And yeah, if you made it this far in the video, thank you. I seriously appreciate it. And ViperTech, again, thank you so much for taking a chance on a small channel and sending this. I'm being completely honest to anyone that doesn't believe it. I didn't spend a penny on this. I was thinking about doing a email dump where like I just kind of dump all the emails on here just to prove it. But I don't know. I'm like torn if I'm going to do that or not, just because there's a lot of sensitive information. I was exchanging addresses and all that. But yeah, totally free. I didn't spend a dime on it besides the $90 in shipping that I mentioned earlier. But I think that's a fair trade. I mean, that's cheaper than most pistols on the market right now in Airsoft. So here we are, guys. ViperTech GBBBR with the ViperTech mag, everything straight out of the box, brand new. This is awesome, guys. I'm super stoked. I can't be any more thankful for this amazing opportunity. And yeah, tell me what you think. Bye.